Alright, so there is a big crisis going on in Nepal, and that's putting the entire country on high alert. Out of nowhere, on September 4, the Nepalese government announced a ban on 26 social media platforms, including Facebook, X, YouTube, WhatsApp, Reddit, even LinkedIn, all blocked at the same time. And the reason they provided is that these platforms had failed to register with the Ministry of Information Technology under the new regulatory rules. But people with brains understood this felt the timing felt a bit political. I mean, why now? For Gen Z, the generation that grew up online, it felt like a direct attack on their freedom of expression. And the issue didn't just start with the ban. Nepal's youth had already been in anger with the government. Corruption scandals, nepotism, and the elite political class dominated by Nepo kids. The ban wasn't just a trigger, it was really a spark in a room already filled with gasoline. So on September 8th, just 4 days after the ban, Nepal was on fire. Thousands of young people flooded Kathmandu and other major cities. And this wasn't just a normal protest, this was a full scale confrontation. And the parliament was attacked and set on fire. The Supreme Court was vandalized. Even Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's private residence was stormed. And their chants is against corruption, against censorship, and against political elite that had failed them again and again. And the government hit back with the only way they know, with violence, tear gas, rubber bullets, and finally live rounds. By the end of September 8, at least 19 people were dead, hundreds more injured. But instead of scaring people off, all this bloodshed made the protesters even more angrier. Realizing how bad the things got, the government tried to put out the fire by lifting the ban. But it was too late. By now, nobody cared about Facebook and WhatsApp anymore. Things got way bigger. People want legitimacy, accountability, and a real change. And then the government started to crack. The Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak was the first one to resign on moral grounds. And after him, more ministers resigned. And one by one, Prime Minister Oli's government started collapsing. And on September 9, the Army Chief of Nepal, General Ashok Raj Sigdal, gave the Prime Minister Oli a clear choice: resign now or the military steps in. Understanding the depth of the situation, by the evening of September 9, Oli announced his resignation, saying it was to facilitate a political solution. And just like that, his fourth cabinet, formed on July 2024, was gone in just a year. But unfortunately, Oli's resignation didn't just bring peace, it only made the situation even messier. The India-Nepal border went on high alert. Due to the fear of chaos spilling over the border, Indian security forces started heavy patrolling on the border, and the Kathmandu's international airport was shut down. The ministers were airlifted from the government buildings, and the rumors started that Oli himself might flee, maybe to Dubai. But for ordinary Nepalis, life just froze for now. Curfews everywhere, paramilitary on the street, and cities are looking so fragile, like it could break any moment. So why does this story matter outside of Nepal? First, this situation is the proof that you can't stop a digital descent. The Nepalese government thought banning app would silence people, but it backfired. It pissed off a whole generation and pushed them into the streets. Second, Gen Z isn't passive. For years, politicians acted like Gen Z didn't care, like they were 24 hours scrolling and complaining. These kind of protest kills that myth. We saw it happen in Sri Lanka, then in Bangladesh, and now in Nepal. And finally, it just shows how fragile these government institutions are. A sitting prime minister and his entire cabinet collapsed in just hours. So what happens in Nepal now? Most likely an interim government will be formed, but the pressure will be massive, with youth voices and civil groups demanding a seat at the table. Internationally, all eyes are on Nepal, but the bigger unknown is the generational shift. Gen Z in Nepal just got the taste of their power, and the question is, what do they do with these powers? So yeah, hopefully the situation gets cleared soon and life in Nepal just goes back to normal. Prayers are with the innocent people. Thank you for watching. Hopefully see you on the next one.